want to ask about the slaves, back, and I can remember.
Well, ain't Harriet, about how old are you?
Well, I don't know, Mr. Huff. Really don't know my age only by the children telling me. Of course, my mom died, and she didn't know nothing about our age. But the children traced back from the ex-slave up to now.
Well,
now,
how old were you when you were?
Well, I was about 13 years old at the breakup.
Can you remember slavery days very well?
Of course, I remember all our white folks, and all the names of them, all the children. Call every one of the children's names.
Who did you belong to?
Jim Bunton, the baby boy.
Where was that? Where did he live?
That's out there in Hayes County.
Don't know. How many slaves did he have?
Well, he had my grandma and my ma. My ma was the cook, and grandma, and then they worked in the field and everything. I remember when she used to plow oxen. I plowed oxen myself.
Is that right?
I can plow and lay off a cornrow as good as any man.
Is that right?
Oh, so can.
Well, good
Chop.
to you.
Chop, pick cotton. I used to pick one. I've been here since I've been here. The hunter and pick my 500 pounds of cotton.
Knock out 500 pounds?
Right out 500 pounds of cotton, then walk across the field and hunt watermelon, plum grinders, and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Aunt Harriet, do you remember church times?
Yes, I remember church time. I remember how
slavery time.
Yes, I remember how our folks, they had prayer meeting from one house to another.
Colored folks.
Yes. I think it was some people. Yeah. And the houses, would be in sections on the house, and at different places they'd go, and we'd have prayer meetings, morning, and good prayer meetings. And dances, too.
And dances, too?
Yes, I've seen Paul Moore dance many times.
Is that right? During slavery?
Yes, my grandma, too. My grandma was named Rachel Proctor.
Rachel Proctor?
Yes, but she belonged to the Buntons. That's what she meant by her husband's name. Back. Now, in slavery time, there was my sister, my brother was slave back. And all of them stayed with me in one of the girls, and she lived in San Antonio, Adelaide Taylor.
Adelaide Taylor. She was your sister?
Yeah, she's in the Young Branch. Sister Ida, and she was the next. Brother George, and Sister Ida, and myself was slaves. And the others was born free, and all of them, we only two living.
Well, I was glad. Did you go to meetings? Did you ever go to church?
We go, they cast prayer meetings, we children to us in the corner, we there to cut up too.
Is that right?
Yes, they cast the prayer meetings.
Well, did you go to the white folks' church any?
Yes, I went to Mountain City to the white folks' church many times. See, the white folks would have church in the morning, then they'd let the colored people have church at their church in the evening.
That was during slavery time?
In slavery time, yes, in slavery time. Like just as well as his.
Well, what would the preacher preach about in them days?
I don't know. I didn't go. They preach about, slaves or something.
He didn't preach like they do today?
No, they wasn't educated, and they ways tell you how to do and how to get along, and how to treat the white people and so on. And they read the Bible, them, Yeah, I remember all about in slavery time. More than them used to go to dances. White folks.
Well, did the white folks treat you good? Did you?
Why the Buntons?
Uh-huh.
They were good to us. They never hooked none of the colored people. Our colored people. They take their saddle horse, Miss Bunton's saddle horse, big gray animal, and she'd have them ride. Grandma would ride Mountain City to church. They had white preachers then. Mr. Porter, he was one of the preachers that lived across from us.
Well, would the white preachers tell you to behave yourselves and be?
Oh, yes.
Be good to your masters?
Yes, that's what they preach. We didn't know it was any such thing. It is God, man, God, we thought that was a different man, but he was our master, our white folks, the preachers who was the white folks' master and so on that way. We, that way. Yeah, I don't know better. On them would go up out of churches, and after they come to be free, you know, they begin to, preachers, you know, they begin to know, you know, there was a God, and so on.
Well, while you all were slaves, did they teach you to read and write? Did you all go to school?
They know nothing about reading and writing. All that I know, they teach you to mind your master and your missus.
They sure didn't teach you to reading and writing.
No, they didn't. Pick cotton, I remember picking cotton.
Well, did you ever hear of any slaves being mistreated? Were there any tales going around in those days?
Yes, I know times they mistreated people they did, and I hear our folks talk, you know, about them hooping, you know, that they had to grease the back to take the clothes from the back.
Good Lord, have mercy.
The white folks that way. But them buttons sure didn't allow their colored people to be whipped. And their horses, their saddle horses, Mrs. Bunton's saddle horse, Ma and Pa and them on to go in the war, they rode their horses in the saddle. Mountain City Church. The children stayed home. And from that on then, from one to another, they began to learn. Tom Kinchin and amongst them, they'd have prayer meeting, you know, from one house to the other. You know, at the house, like there's a house sitting here in a section, in a line, you know, and people would come to prayer meeting. And in the Sunday, in the evening, the white folks let the preacher preach, let our folks go to their church preaching.
Well, do you remember any of the songs they sang in those days at churches?
No, if I had the books, I could remember, look and see.
Well,
I know they sang songs. They sang the song, "Are We Born to Die?" They'd sing that.
Are we born to die? How'd that go, do you know?
That's fine for sticking their count we get.
Now, a little louder.
Yeah, yes.
How'd it go?
Yeah. They'd sing, "Are we born to die?" For sticking their count as we get. I was little. I'd sit back. I never went much. We children be stayed at home, parch corn, and play, you know. They're telling Ma and Pa and them, and Grandma would ride the horses, and about 3 miles from our home, white folks' home, where they stayed, and go to the white folks' church. I used to hear them laugh and tell it all the time, you know. We didn't know anything about freedom and so on. There's three that I was me, and my next oldest sister, and my brother George. He was, they all dead. All of them's dead, but just 2 of them.
Well, can you remember when the war was going on?
Of course I can. I sat on the fence at the time. Me and Cousin Lou and Cousin Sally and all of us, our yard had white picket fence around. The road went right along by our house like the road goes along by my house. We stood on that picket fence all day long, seeing them soldiers going back to San Antonio and different places. I had to put in there, blow them bugles. Them horses was wheeling, dancing, all just like that.
What do you know?
Colored soldiers.
Colored soldiers?
4 colored soldiers in drove. That's right along by our house. Our home is a 2-story house, a white folks' home, you know. And we stayed on the home until we bought the homes over across the creek where we lived.